Dear students, today we'll see multiple choice questions on oscillators. Let's start with the questions. Question number 101. A Colpitts oscillator uses which type of feedback? Now, this is a basic question of an oscillator concept, and we know that whenever we build up an oscillator circuit, we'll have an amplifier, and we'll have a feedback network, and the output of the amplifier is given as a feedback to the input. Okay, and this feedback is positive. Is this feedback is positive, it is in phase with the input, or it is going to aid the input, and therefore this type of arrangement will act as an oscillator which will produce repetitive waveforms, okay, of a certain specified frequency. So here this question is of basic oscillator concept, and here the answer will be positive feedback. B, positive feedback. So here you can have an explanation. A Colpitts oscillator uses positive feedback for oscillation. The feedback is provided through a capacitor voltage divider tank circuit to the amplifying element. Okay, so here it is a positive feedback, and it is a basic concept of an oscillator that we have to use positive feedback, then only we'll get oscillations. So here you can see option B is the right answer, that is positive feedback. Then we'll go to the next question, question number 102. If L1 and L2 are the inductance used in Hartley oscillator. Okay, so it is also LC oscillator, which comes under LC oscillator. The effective inductance in the equation of frequency calculation is equal to the effective inductance, that is the equivalent inductance in the formula of frequency, without considering mutual inductance. Okay, now if you remember Hartley oscillator, the tank circuit is made up of inductors L1 and L2. So inductor L is splitted into L1 and L2, which is placed across a common capacitor, and the center of the inductors is tapped. So if you see the feedback network, so feedback network will look something like this. That is a capacitor. Then you will be having a inductor here. Here you will be having your ground point, and again the inductor here. So the inductor L is split into two. So you can have this as L1, this as L2, and this you can have as C. So this will be a feedback network, and here you will be having your amplifier network. Okay, so here you will be having your amplifier network, and this is going to give you the output, and the output is given to this feedback, and this feedback is going to give here the input to the amplifier. This will act as an oscillator, Hartley oscillator circuit. Now in this, the frequency of oscillation will be given as, say, the original or the general formula for frequency of oscillation is f naught is equal to 1 by 2 pi root LC for a tank circuit. Now here, because your tank circuit is having two inductances L1 and L2, then this formula becomes for Hartley oscillator as 1 by 2 pi under root. So here you can have L equivalent into C. Now here L equivalent is nothing but the series combination of L1 and L2. So it is L1 plus L2. So L equivalent is nothing but L1 plus L2. Now this is what is asked in this question. If L1 and L2 are the inductance used in the Hartley oscillator, the effective inductance in the equation of frequency calculation is equal to what? The effective inductance is equal to L1 plus L2. It is a series combination. So option C will be the right answer here. L1 plus L2. So here you can see the explanation. Inductance L1 and L2 are series, and hence effective inductance without mutual inductance will be L1 plus L2. So here you can see option C is the right answer, L1 plus L2. Then we'll go to question number 103. Which configuration of the transistor amplifier is used for Hartley oscillator? Now here always, most of the time we see that we use common emitter config. So here the option A will be the right answer. Common emitter amplifier is used for Hartley oscillator. So here explanation you can see. A common emitter or transistor configuration is used in a Hartley oscillator to ensure good oscillations. So here we can see that option A is the right answer, common emitter amplifier. Then we'll go to the next question, question number 104. Phase shift provided by overall tank circuit in Hartley oscillator is of how many degrees? So if you see this, again we will see the basic logic circuit of Hartley oscillator. So if you see the basic circuit of Hartley oscillator, it will be having an amplifier here. So amplifier, and this amplifier output, it is given to a combination where you have LC tank circuit in which you have two inductance. This is ground, this is another inductance, and then you have a capacitance here, and this will be taken as your feedback circuit, and this feedback will go to the amplifier. So this is C, this is L1, this is L2. Okay, now here this amplifier is going to introduce a phase shift of 180 degree, and this feedback network is going to introduce another phase shift of 180 degree, so that the total closed loop phase shift is 360 degree, and that will be taken as 0 degree, and that is taken as a positive feedback for this arrangement of oscillator, which is Hartley oscillator. Now here the question asked is phase shift provided by the overall tank circuit. So this tank circuit, which is of L and C, this tank circuit will give a phase shift of 180 degree. So here option C will be the right answer. 180 degree will be the answer here. So here you can have an explanation. Phase shift provided by the tank circuit is 180 degrees to obey Barkhanson criteria for sustained oscillations. So we know that the total closed loop phase shift should be 360 degree, that is 0 degree, that is positive feedback, and the gain of the arrangement should be unity, so that you fulfill the Barkhanson criteria for oscillations. So here you can see option C, that is 180 degree will be the answer. Then we'll go to the next question, question number 105. The phase difference produced by the active element of Hartley oscillators. So again the same line question. Again, if you see the diagram here, you will be having an amplifier. Now this amplifier will be built with some active elements, a transistor BJT, and then you have a feedback network, as we have seen earlier, feedback network. Okay, and this will be giving a positive feedback here, and this is the output where you will get oscillations. Now here the amplifier, which is made up of active element, will give you a phase shift of 180 degree, and the feedback network will give you a phase shift of 180 degrees. So 180 plus 180 will be 360 degree. The closed loop phase shift, that is 0 degree. So here you can have a positive feedback. So here what is the question asked is the phase difference produced by the active element of Hartley oscillator. Say for example the active element is BJT, which you are going to use as an amplifier. So that BJT will be producing a phase shift of 180 degree, because another 180 degree phase shift is produced by the feedback network. So any active element you use there as an amplifier, that is going to produce a phase shift of 180 degree. So here the option B will be the right answer, that is 180 degree is the right answer. So here you can see the explanation. The coil has a tap such that the proper phase is available to the base of the transistor. Value of L and C are adjusted to give a phase shift of 180 degree. The transistor itself creates a 180 degree phase shift, and hence the total phase shift is 360 degree or 0 degree, according to your Barkhanson criteria, which is the basic need to make an oscillator arrangement. So here you can see option B is the right answer. 180 degree is the phase shift provided by the active element of the Hartley oscillator. Then we'll go to question number 106. What will be the oscillator frequency of Hartley oscillator if inductance L1 L2 are equal to 1 millihenry and 2 millihenry respectively, and a capacitor is 10 nanofarads? Neglect mutual inductance. Okay, so what will be the frequency of oscillator? So here we remember the formula of frequency of oscillations for Hartley oscillator. So F naught is equal to 1 upon 2 pi under root L equivalent into C. So it is nothing but F naught is equal to 1 upon 2 pi under root L1 plus L2 into C. Okay. So if you substitute these values, so you will get F naught is equal to 1 upon 2 into 3.14 is the value of pi. Then you can take under root L1, L2 is given as 1 millihenries and 2 millihenries. So it is 3 millihenries totally into 10 to the power of minus 3 into C is 10 nanofarads, so it is 10 into 10 to the power of minus 9. Now, if you calculate this, you will get an answer of 29 kilohertz. So this will be the answer here, or 29 kilohertz. That is the answer B will be the right answer. So here you can see explanation. L1 is equal to 1 millihenries, L2 is equal to 2 millihenries. Effective inductance L is equal to L1 plus L2, that is 1 plus 2, that is 3 millihenries. C is equal to 10 nanofarad. F is equal to 1 by 2 pi root LC, where L will be the equivalent L, L1 plus L2. So you can take it as 1 by 2 pi under root 3 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into 10 into 10 to the power of minus 9. If you calculate this, you will get the oscillator frequency as 29 kilohertz. So option B will be the right answer. That is 29 kilohertz is the oscillation frequency of the above given values Hartley oscillator. Okay, the Hartley oscillator, which is made up of these values, where the feedback circuit L1 and L2 are of 1 millihenry, 2 millihenry, and our capacitor C is of 10 nanofarads. Then we'll go to question number 107. Which oscillator is characterized by a split capacitor in the tank circuit? So if you remember an oscillator with split capacitor, so the same concept here again, you can have an amplifier. So here again you can show an amplifier. Here you will be having an amplifier, and then here you'll be having your feedback network. Now in this case, the feedback network is inductance L and capacitance is splitted into two. It is splitted into two. Okay, so here you can have your ground point. Okay, now this is your output of amplifier. This is the feedback. This feedback goes as a positive feedback. Okay, and this is your L, and this you can take it as C1 and C2. Okay, now the oscillator in which the capacitor C of the tank circuit is splitted. Okay, now this oscillator is named as Colpitt's oscillator. So option B will be the right answer. Colpitt's oscillator is one in which you have a split capacitor in the tank circuit, which is the feedback network. So here you can see option B is the right answer, or Colpitt's oscillator. Then we'll go to question number 108. Hartley oscillator consists of how many inductors? So as we have seen earlier, Hartley oscillator in the feedback circuit consists of two inductors L1 and L2. So here option B will be the right answer. 2 will be the right answer. So here you can see option B is the right answer, that is 2. Then we'll go to question number 109. Theoretically, the gain in the oscillator must be equal to how much? So if you remember the Barkhausen criteria for oscillations, the gain of the loop should be unity, that is 1. Okay, 1, and the phase shift should be 360-degree in total of the closed loop. So these are the two factors of Barkhausen criteria which are needed for the arrangement to behave as an oscillator. So here unity gain means option C will be the right answer. So option C, unity, is the right answer. So here you can see theoretically the gain in the oscillator must be equal to unity, that is 1. Then we'll go to question number 110. What will be the phase shift of feedback circuit in RC phase shift circuit oscillator? So if you see RC phase shift circuit oscillator, again here we will have the concept of an amplifier. Here you can have an amplifier, and here you can have a feedback network. Now this feedback network consists of RC network. These are RC network where you'll be having three RC network, and each RC network will give a phase shift of 60-degree. So 60-degree plus 60-degree plus 60-degree. So total feedback phase shift, the feedback circuit will introduce a phase shift of 180 degree, and this will be a positive feedback then, because the amplifier itself will give another 180 degree. So 180 degree by the amplifier, 180 degree by the RC network. So total 360 degree, which is going to fulfill the Barkhausen criteria. So here, according to this question, what will be the phase shift of the feedback circuit in RC phase shift oscillator? So obviously, there will be three stages of RC network, and the three stages of RC network in the feedback will produce 180 degree phase shift. So here option B will be the right answer, 180 degree phase shift. So here you can have an explanation. The RC feedback network provides 180 degree phase shift, and amplifier used in RC phase shift oscillator provides another 180 degree phase shift. Op-amp is used in the inverting mode to obtain a total phase shift of 360 degree. So here you can see that option B, that is 180 degree phase shift, is introduced by the feedback network in the RC phase shift oscillator. Then we'll go to question number 111. How many RC stages are used in the RC phase shift oscillator? So as I've told you earlier, there will be three RC stages used in RC phase shift oscillator. Okay, so those three stages, you can view it like this. Say this is an amplifier. This is your amplifier, which can be made up of transistor or op-amp, anything you can use here, any active element you can use here. Now that will be having its output, and that output is going through a feedback network. So here you can have a capacitor, and then here you can have a resistor. Again, you can have a capacitor. Again, you can have a resistor. Again, you can have a capacitor here. Okay, and this capacitor is going to go to your feedback. This is going to give you the feedback to the amplifier. So here these RC networks will introduce, okay, will introduce a phase shift of 60 degree each. So 60 degree, 60 degree, and 60 degree. Three RC networks will be there, and three RC network will produce 60 degree each phase shifts. Okay, so this is how you are going to have your RC stages in your RC phase shift oscillator. So here the question is, how many RC stages are used in a RC phase shift oscillator? So the RC stages used are three. So three RC stages are used in RC phase shift oscillator. So here you can have the explanation. The RC stage forms the feedback network of oscillator. It consists of three identical RC stages, each of 60 degree phase shift, so as to provide a total phase shift of 180 degree. So here you can have this RC networks in the feedback is somewhat in this fashion. You can have a capacitor, a resistor, you can have a capacitor, resistor, you can have a capacitor and resistor. So you can view it like this. So this will be RC, this will be RC, and this will be RC. Okay, so you can view like this, and then each of this RC will produce a phase shift of 60 degree, 60 degree, and 60 degree. So total phase shift of 180 degree by the feedback network. So this is how each RC stage is going to produce, and therefore we are having three RC. Here you can see option D, that is 3 is the right answer. Then we'll go to question number 112. Calculate the frequency of oscillation for RC phase shift oscillator having the value of R and C as 35 ohms and 3.7 microfarad respectively. So here, if you remember the frequency of oscillations for RC oscillator, so it is given as F naught is equal to, okay, so if you see the frequency of oscillation for RC phase shift oscillator, it is F naught is equal to 1 upon 2 pi RC root 6. 1 upon 2 pi RC root 6. If you substitute these values, F naught is equal to 1 upon 2 into 3.14. Then R is 35 ohms and C is 3.7 microfarad, that is 3.7 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into root 6. So this is what you have to solve to get the answer, and we will see what answer we will get here. So here you can see the explanation. The frequency of oscillation of RC phase shift oscillator is given as 1 by 2 pi RC root 6. So we have substituted, and after substituting we are getting the answer as 502 hertz. So this is the right answer, that is 502 hertz. So here you can see option C, that is 502 hertz is the right answer. And then we'll go to question number 113. What must be done to ensure that oscillations will not die out in RC phase shift oscillator? Now what happens in RC phase shift oscillator? The feedback network, okay, the feedback network is given by beta is equal to 1 upon 29. Okay, feedback network is given by beta is equal to 1 upon 29. Therefore, for sustained oscillations, the gain of the amplifier should be 29. For sustained oscillations, the gain of the amplifier should be at least 29. And to assure startup oscillations, when gain A is much greater than 1 upon beta, that is, to have oscillations, the gain of the amplifier should be greater than 29. So here the option A is the right answer. Gain of the amplifier is kept greater than 29. So here you can see the explanation. For a sustained oscillation in RC phase shift oscillator, the gain of the inverting op-amp should be at least R29, or if you are using a transistor based amplifier, in that case also it should be at least 29 or more than 29. So if it is more than 29, it will give you the oscillations. So therefore gain is kept greater than 29 to ensure the variation in circuit parameter will not make the gain of the feedback and the gain of the amplifier less than 1. Otherwise, the oscillations will die out. So otherwise, you will not follow the Barkhausen criteria. Then we'll go to, this is the answer of question number 113. So option A is the right answer. Gain of amplifier is kept greater than 29. Then we'll go to question number 114. In a phase shift oscillator, the frequency determining elements are what? Options are L and C, then R, L and C, and RNC, and none of this. So in phase shift oscillator, we know that the frequency of oscillations is given as F naught is equal to, so here you can see F naught is equal to 1 upon 2 pi RC root 6. So here to determine the frequency, what we require is RNC. RNC is required. So here option C will be the right answer, that is RNC. Option C is the right answer for this question. So in a phase shift oscillator, the frequency determining elements are R and C. Then we'll go to question number 115. The Wien bridge oscillator uses, okay, if you see the circuit of Wien bridge oscillator, it uses both the feedbacks. It will use positive feedback also, and it will use negative feedback also. So whenever we have a Wien bridge circuit, it will use both negative and positive feedback. So here option A will be the right answer, both the negative and positive feedbacks. Then we'll go to question number 116. The piezoelectric effect in a crystal is dash. So option is a voltage developed because of mechanical stress, a change in resistance because of temperature, a change in frequency because of temperature, none of the above. So here we know that whenever we use a piezoelectric effect in a crystal, or say for example you're having a quartz or a Rochelle salt. Okay, now in that case, we see that a voltage is developed when it undergoes mechanical stress. Electrical voltage is developed when it undergoes mechanical stress. So option A will be the right answer here. A voltage developed because of mechanical stress. So here you can see option A is the right answer. A voltage is developed in a piezoelectric effect because of mechanical stress. Then we'll go to question number 117. A condition for oscillation is. Now this we are referring to the Barkhausen criteria. Now here if you see the options, a phase shift around the feedback loop of 180 degree, which is false. A gain around the feedback loop of 1/3, which is false. A phase shift around the feedback loop of 0 degree, this is true. And D, a gain around the feedback loop of less than 1. So, okay, so option C is right because we make the phase shift as 360 degree around the loop, and therefore it is taken as 0 degree. So option C is the right answer here. So phase shift around the feedback loop of 0 degree. Then we'll go to question number 118. A second condition for oscillation is, now in Barkhausen criteria, what is the second condition for oscillation? So here options you can see a gain of 1 around the feedback loop, no gain around the feedback loop. The attenuation of the feedback circuit must be 1/3. The feedback circuit must be capacitive. So in this, the first statement is true. A gain of 1 around the feedback loop, that is the gain should be unity. So option A is the right answer. So a gain of 1 around the feedback loop. Then we'll go to question number 119. An oscillator differs from an amplifier because options given are has more gain, requires no input signal, requires no DC supply, always has the same input. So whenever we see an oscillator circuit, now the oscillator circuit has no input like an amplifier. An amplifier circuit has an input and that input will be amplified by the amplifier. But an oscillator works with no input, only the positive feedback will make it to generate oscillations. So here option B is the right answer. It requires no input signal. So here you can see option B is the right answer. It requires no input signal. Then we'll go to question number 120. In an LC oscillator, okay, the frequency of oscillator is dash of L or C. So options are proportional to square of L or C. Option B is directly proportional to L or C. Option C is independent of the values of L or C. And option D is inversely proportional to the square root of L and C. So here, whenever we have a tank circuit and whenever we want to determine the frequency of oscillation of a tank circuit, so this is your tank circuit, and whenever you are going to determine the frequency of oscillations for this circuit, so that will be given as F naught is equal to 1 upon 2 pi root LC. Okay, so in this formula, if you see, the frequency is inversely proportional to the square root of L and C. Okay, so the option D will be the right answer here, inversely proportional to square of L and C. So here you can see option D is the right answer. Okay, thank you, students.